The hardest part with a company, or a YouTuber, or anything among those likes is finding your audience and sticking with it. Once that connection is made, there's a sort of unspoken agreement, you give them what they came for, and in return, they stick around. But the moment you stray too far from what made that bond in the first place, things can fall apart fast. Today, we'll be looking into Danganronpa S, Ultimate Summer Camp and what exactly went wrong. I was never into RNGs, so I don't want to be judgmental, but then I remembered this is my video and I can say whatever I want. I think RNGs are super boring unless done right. Tetris is pretty fun, but I think it becomes an issue when it's just that, an RNG. The core loop gets old, fast. Grinding, leveling, repeating the same battles from monsters. You don't have much to do other than that and interacting with the characters. None of the characters have unique skills that relate to their ultimates, and the combats are just so basic. You're better off playing some random game on a sketchy website. Not only that, the board is a small, constant loop, repeating the same battles over and over and over just to level up. So freaking boring, and that's honestly what this game is, a low-invested, rushed RNG with microtransactions.
Boring, yawning, sloppy, lazy.
Adding microtransactions is so funny to me, because the microtransactions are only used just to skip the repetitive grinding. But it's like, maybe don't make the gameplay so repetitive? Seriously, Spike? I don't think there's anything wrong with adding microtransactions to a game, if the game is actually developed good and the microtransactions actually mean something. Not even the die-hard Danganronpa fans were happy with this. I think this was the first time Spike added microtransactions to their games. I don't think it affects your gameplay, but it's still worth talking about. I think a big contributor is the fact it came out during the time where most of the fandom was made up of kids and teens. They weren't the right audience for it, too new to the franchise, too young to care about fanservice nostalgia, and too impatient for grindy mechanics. I was a diehard fan by 2021 and I didn't care about buying it for the actual gameplay, only the fact all the characters would be interacting and such. And this brings me to my next point, although my weakest, is just the laziness when it came to the characters. First off, many people, including myself, did not like most of the swimsuits on the characters. I heard a lot of complaints for characters like Mu, Mikin, Mikoto, Junko, and the fact that Pico, Akane, and Kiyaki still had their swimsuits from Danganronpa. Goodbye despair. Again, these designs kinda show how rushed and lazy Danganronpa S seems to be. Especially since we know they can be capable of so much more, yet chose not to be. The point of the game was, what if the killing games never happened, and to put little to no effort in the other main point of the game is so disappointing. We finally get to see alternate relationships, character growth, etc., and yet they feel dull and repetitive. The last point I have is the fact it's a spin-off game. I think this one is a bit weak, but hear me out. What is Danganronpa's iconic game about? Talented students trapped in killing games, in a simple way to put it. Obviously, that says fans like that edgy, violent type of the game. To suddenly make a spin-off game at a beach and the basic gameplay is just repetitive RNGs and battles? That's not like Spike at all, and don't get me wrong, there have been many successful games that have made spin-offs and such. But including all the factors I put, and the fact that Danganronpa isn't known for its spin-offs or hasn't really built their brand like that than a company like Nintendo or such, I'm sure they were trying to capture what they got from the Ultimate Development Plan, but that was in Danganronpa V3, which is part of the Killing Game series, and it worked there because it was framed as a bonus mode. A fun, optional escape after an emotionally heavy story. In Danganronpa S, they made that side mode the entire game, stripped away the narrative weight, and expected fans to stay engaged with grindy mechanics and shallow interactions. Danganronpa S was a disappointment. It took a concept full of potential, a peaceful alternate universe where the characters could interact without death hanging over them, and watered it down into a shallow, grind-heavy experience. What could have been a heartfelt, What if scenario turned into a repetitive board game with minimal story, lackluster dialogue, and repetitive grinding that could have never been repetitive in the first place? Instead of celebrating the cast, it reduced them to stats and RNG. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video.